Hello fellow 3D enthusiast, my name is Ian. Today I just wanted to break down some elements of the scene that I'm working on here and kind of show you how I put it together. So first of all, let's talk about the sky. I used an add-on for this. I actually bought it on the Blender Market, and this isn't sponsored or anything, but it's a pretty good add-on called Physical Starlight and Atmosphere. Goes for about 40 bucks on the Blender Market, and it's really cool because there's a lot of like procedural stuff. There's all these settings over here on the panel that you can see. We can change the thickness of the atmosphere, and you can make it so it looks like it's space, and I don't know, it's just absolutely crazy. I love it. Sometimes it can take a little bit of time to set up correctly. You can also do things like turn up the stars, and it's pretty crazy. You can also change the elevation and the sun and size and all sorts of crazy stuff like that. But I just wanted to show you that because it is a very important part of the scene. Another pretty big part of this shot is obviously this ocean here, which I put together using help from the tutorial here by Dylan Neal, called Creating Large-Scale Oceans in Blender. He really goes into depth and breaks down the ocean modifier, which is super powerful. I really recommend giving this a watch. I'll make sure there's a link in the description. One of the greatest things about it is that there's not really a whole lot of noticeable tiling, which I've struggled with in the past when I was working on oceans. If we zoom in, you can see this element right here that's actually right near the camera, and this is actually deformed geometry, so it's moving like an actual ocean, which is pretty sweet. And then I also baked out some textures onto this giant disk here. And this is all rendering in real time with Eevee, so I can get some nice slow render times for the animation that I'm working on. Okay, another pretty big element to this shot is the clouds, and I've got those enabled on their own collection here. And if you look, they're actually super simple. They're just a bunch of planes with textures. And if you look from this side, it's actually super pretty. Look at that. So basically, the way I made these clouds is I actually just got a different file going on here. And once again, in Eevee, I rendered some volume just with some procedural textures. And this technique is based on another tutorial I found, Fast Clouds in Eevee, Blender 2.8, Quick and Dirty by Blender Binge. And this is a pretty good way to just quickly make clouds in Eevee. Once again, my main goal was to make it look pretty and keep the render times down, since this is going to be an animation eventually. So yeah, those are the main elements of this scene that I've put together so far. There's going to be one more element, I think, that I have to work on putting together, but once that is done, I'll be done with the first shot. I'm pretty excited because this is going to be a cool project. Anyways, if you found this helpful, there's a link in the description that says Free Hydraulic Kit Bash Elements. And when you click that, it'll actually sign you up for my email list. I'll make sure the first thing I send you are some free hydraulic kit bash elements made for Blender, so if you're into doing some mechanical stuff, this will give you a nice jump start with detail. Also, when you're on that list, I'll make sure you get updates about tutorials that I post in the future. So if you're about that, you can go ahead and click the link in the description. If you're not, that's fine also. Anyways, I'll catch you again next week with an update on this project, and I hope you have an excellent day. Cheers!